the West leading the order of the world through rules, alliances, cooperations. But it seems that, look, all is falling apart. The center can no longer hold. The biggest alliances are beginning to get disrupted. And it's going to be the start of our conversations on the roundtable this evening. We're going to be looking at that brilliant, intellectually brilliant speech by the Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, that look, middle power nations now have to stand up to that particular reality. Canadian Prime America. So in that speech has got a lot of holds for the world at the domestic front. Mr. Peter Obi to stop and shun this idea, this rhetoric of it is Obi or not, the chances of the ADC in 2027. This idea of, again, we've seen Obedience who have called onto our show, several shows, and they seem to have this idea, be working out on the party. And so this idea of, oh, it is Obi or nobody should end. And that's according to the ADC, that look, the reality of politics is that, look, you join a political party, play your politics, and you may not eventually be. I say,
obedience.
Well, we're going to discuss that really because Bolaji Abdullahi had a whole lot to say to Obedience, who he has said, look, from a very integral, seems to have gone mum, completely quiet in recent time, as the presidency seems to have reaffirmed the fact that Governor Siminalayi Fubara is the leader of the APC in Rivers State. And as we speak, all the impeachment efforts by the State House of Assembly remain stalled now that the court in Rivers State have said that, you know what, we will be postponing indefinitely all Fubara. We have not seen reactions from the State House of Assembly members. Wike boasted that he can throw fire into any state or burn the finger or any finger that tries to tamper with the political structure of Rivers State. There's a lot to talk about between Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, the godfather, has now defected. Well, if he resigns, he's leaving. He's leaving the party.
Yes,
no, he's still there.
No, he has resigned from the party.
He's resigned from the party.
Yes.
Which means he's partyless.
Yes, as he speaks.
And he's not the only first person to do that.
Did
it for partyless as a governor. But the reality is that, look, officially, Governor Abba Yusuf has resigned from the NNPP. The party will be moving to his godfather, the leader of the Kwankwansia movement, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, World Betrayal Day
in Kano.
You should remember that day. And that's Friday. You know, a lot of Kwankwansians, the supporters of Kwankwaso and his movement, paid very solid, if you ask me. So, again, a lot to talk about. But Sakoti Sadiba is with me in the studio this evening. Nurudeen Adegbero is here. Joseph Folosho is here. Like 5 minutes before I came on the show, somebody sent me a message all the way from the United Kingdom to say, you know what, please, don't spend too much time on international political issues. So we're going to.
We're in a global village.
Where the man seems to just want to concentrate himself more on the domestic issues we have here. But let's quickly look at was that speech by the Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney.
Very loaded.
On the 20th of January 2026, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney delivered the speech titled "Principled and Pragmatic." Of American ambition for territorial expansion and aggressive countries to work together to protect their interests in light of what he termed a rupture in the order had experienced a rupture, not a transition, and called on middle powers to unite against economic coercion from great powers that have begun using economic integration as weapons, tariffs as leverage, financial infrastructure as coercion, and supply geopolitical shift. Then they had much to gain from genuine cooperation, stating they're going to be part of received sharp criticism from Donald Trump, who remarked the following day, Canada leaves because of the United States. But it's a very, very instructive, internationally instructive speech by Prime Minister Mark Carney. And the summary is simple. The rules-based old world order
internationalism is gone.
It's gone.
It's dead.
And nobody should mourn it let's be realistic and pragmatic. Let's move on. And he's calling on middle power nations like Canada, Australia, and others to form alliances and cooperation and not expect that the old world order would return. Let's take it from what the Prime Minister is saying. What were the rules-based old world order that has come to an end that Prime Minister Kani was talking about?
Immediately after the Second World War, 51 nations came together, Trace, and to ensure that the sovereignty and territorial integrity of nations are respected and that nations coexist in peace. One of the things that happened, of course, by the way, the United Nations, I think they have about 197 members now.
Member nations, yeah.
And every year you see how leaders go there to deliver. Groups then began to emerge. One of the groups that emerged was the transatlantic partnership called NATO, which of course aligned with the United States, a dominant power, economic and military force. And then you had the Soviet Union also trying to build its own bloc, or the United States.
So they were the non-aligned nations.
They became the non-aligned nations. But sometime, I think around 1989, when Ronald Reagan gave that speech in Berlin, Mr. President tear down the wall. The Berlin Wall came down, and with it, the USSR dissolved, leaving America as the sole dominant political, economic, and military power in the world. Now, and it must be said, didn't start with the Soviet Union dissolved and became Russia, and didn't have that kind of strength, power, and spread
to compete
like the United States. The world saw the birth of power. They could tell you who will become the president of the World Bank and the IMF. Of course, the IMF meant for Europe. Based on the agreement that they have, the president of IMF must come from Europe. And the president of the world to take a greater hold on world affairs all over the world. In 2003, we saw to ensure that Saddam Hussein does not
acquire nuclear weapons.
But the United States alone declared that Saddam had a nuclear weapon and invaded.
And nobody could stop him.
Iraq. You saw how that we also talked about the United Nations. One of the key aims of the United Nations is that even when there is war in a country, the UN humanitarian agency will be allowed to supply food to prevent starvation. But we've seen that constantly in Gaza. So this has been coming for a long time. But I think why the last
well experienced technocrat, he understands international politics, so it's not new.
So, and I think why he's saying he's beginning to speak out loud is that since Trump became first of all, Trump became president in 2016, and he showed clearly that he had no respect for internationalism. He has no respect for the sovereignty of the nation. He doesn't give a damn about what they do and all that. It's simply, for him, it's America first.
Climate change denial, everything was,
He pulled out the United States from the climate city in not far from Philadelphia, you know. And then recently again, he pulled out the United States from 66 his closest neighbors, Canada and Mexico, and the United States had a trade agreement called NAFTA.
NAFTA, yes.
Which was signed by Bill Clinton in 1994. But Trump came and said no, he was not going to abide by it. Then he negotiated, and then it came the UNSCR, United States around it, to free himself. Now the Congress doesn't even control him, because you cannot impose even tariffs on other nations without
congressional approval.
But he doesn't do that. So if he wakes up, he calls you as a foreign leader, he doesn't pick your phone, he slams 25% tariff.
For not to pick his phone.
So, and not too long ago, we saw how the United States also invaded Panama and captured Noriega.
Not the first time, yes.
And that guy died in prison in the United States. But I think what is alarming the world now, and people like Kani is the fact that territorial integrity and sovereignty of other nations who abided by multilateral agreements and who, for instance, presidents before Trump in America, Louisiana, the state of Louisiana, was bought from France.
Negotiated and bought.
For $15 million, I think around 1840. part of Arizona and Colorado was bought from Mexico. 1840 for $7.2 million. Trump also named the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America.
And Canada to be the 54th state.
This is, and then he threatened to capture Canada and make it the 51st state of America. So this has unsettled so many world leaders. Look, if they rely on America to preserve global world order, those days are gone.
That's what Kanye is saying.
That's what Kanye is saying. And so what is his solution? Now, if you think you are a middle power, like Canada, because in terms of nuclear weapons and all of that, Canada is a big country by our standard. It's got a big economy, it's got a big military and all that. But what he's saying to other countries like Australia, countries like Indonesia and all of that in the middle, look, listen, you are not a global superpower like the United States. Don't expect the United States to protect you, because this president is also thinking about pulling out of the NATO alliance,
the biggest military alliance,
moving towards Russia and China. We can become a power bloc
on our own.
Yes, and we can confront the United States. We don't have to be as big as the United States to confront the United States.
We can be firm.
But if we pull together with our resources, we can put up a challenge. And I think that's a clear message, even to countries in Africa. The days Trump administration, the same Trump again spoke about the persecution of Christians. Stop it. So the truth is that the world is at a tipping point. That nations need to stand up and fend for themselves. This whole idea of, look, we for
friends,
exactly. So it is time for countries in Africa.
I was going to ask about where does this put African countries, Nigeria particularly?
Well, our economy is not doing well. Forget all the promotion, all the talks about the food is surplus now. That people are even complaining that the food
is too much.
Forget about all the data. The fact is that the Nigerian economy is not doing well. But that is not to say that we cannot organize ourselves.
Yeah.
Because what we are seeing here is that we are not going to get help from the United States of America. We have been banned from entering the United States. Our students are no longer allowed to get student visa to go and study in the United States.
Even when they are qualified.
When they are qualified. So what that tells us is that, look, internally, we have to build our country. We have to be able to establish key institutions that can make our own country a pride of a place for our citizens. Nigerians in America, but the problem is that the basic things that they are enjoying in those places,
not available.
They are not guaranteed that they will have them here. The security of lives and property. Yes, I'm not saying that violence don't happen. The pillar the Indian Prime Minister is sending is very key. The world has to be now proud. You have to fight for yourself, and because you don't have the strength alone to withstand the United States,
from corporations and
there's
alliances,
a need for all the middle countries. And then he says it in a very pregnant way. If you are not going to have a bloc power to discuss,
and you are not there.
And you are not there,
you'll be part of what they will eat.
You are part of what they order to eat.
So if you are not big enough to be on the table individually as a nation,
come together,
form a bloc, form alliances. Because again, people have talked about the fact that, look, getting on the table for Nigeria in recent time has been, BRICS was formed by ― Brazil, Russia, India, China, and we're going to pick an African country.
South Africa.
They decided to pick South Africa. And there are people who have argued.
At that time, South Africa was the biggest economy.
No, but people have argued that
and it's still the biggest economy
in Africa now, followed by Egypt, Algeria, and I think Nigeria number 4. And people have argued that, look, if you look all around the world, the big economies of the world are also the biggest in population. Yes. If you look all around, you see that the biggest economies of the world, most times, are always very big. In fact, the biggest.
They're tied to population.
They are tied to population.
Yeah.
Nigeria today is still
it's human resources.
It's human resources. Nigeria today still has the largest population in Africa. Why? And with our resources, we are the largest, 6th largest oil producing nation in the world.
3 major problems: unchecked corruption.
Unchecked corruption.
In fact, look, even if if political
level of corruption we have in this
level of corruption, that's one. Second thing is mismanagement of resources, which also include human resources. What do I mean? That the best, because of political patronage, you know that this man can. You know, I was talking
the useless agreement is agreement policies we are playing.
I was talking to a friend.
Yes.
And I said to him, he said, look, he called me, he said, I can say that you are openly against Wike.
Oh.
And I said to him, I'm not against Wike. I don't care what happened behind the scenes. And I said, that is the reason why we are where we are. Because you see, if Wike had allowed an open field,
free fair election,
where different kind of people with their talents came
in Rivers State,
people,
and then the people choose who they consider the best for them without any interference.
People, yes, Wike used Rivers people's money, skewed the process. And I told him, did you see Fubara campaign anywhere during the last election?
It was Wike campaigning for him. Yes, obvious.
In fact, EFCC declared he wanted, he was hiding the government. He's a small boy, but the power of a governor, don't play with it. Yes. Because what you want is what he would do.
So mismanagement of resources, human and material resources. Second issue.
Corruption.
I
talked about corruption.
Yes.
And then the third one, wrong priorities in Nigeria. Where at a traffic capital state, you have flyovers that are not even necessary.
Nobody's even using them.
You have airport in Nigeria.
Yes.
A job that will be executed with 200 million in the United States or United Kingdom to the higher.
In terms of quality and standard.
In terms of quality. Did you not see? I've given to Benue. For the first time, I saw grass is growing on Third Road.
And then
the final one.
Sorry, the final one.
The wickedness of our people. The wickedness of our leaders.
The wickedness of our leaders. Wait, that's pregnant.
The best house in Najegunle is in Najegunle. But you are going to live in the same country. Do you know that today, majority of the people who are buying citizenship of other countries, the United States, St. Kitts, are retired military officers and political elites, former political, current serving. It's Wike's wife and children, not American citizens.
Yeah, of course.
They were not born there, but the body citizenship. The body believes in Nigeria. We had one of our friends. Yeah, he told us that he doesn't believe in Nigeria anymore.
Anyway, I agree. He likes me. He say you still believe in this country. You better fight for yourself.
That thing to what Barrister Curtis said. Another thing which I will add to if we agree for me to add this.
Yes.
It's only in Nigeria you will see an individual will be bigger than a whole Nigeria Air Force or Nigeria Navy or Nigeria Police.
Will, yeah.
Because you see some of those guys in the north, some of them is as if a whole Nigerian Navy that the constitution say you take care of the territorial time. You now go and beg them, say, Oga, I beg, can you assist us? But you see, Donald Trump is already saying he want to be one of the biggest ship so far. But for us to protect our things that are in our water, one individual or two individuals, we instead of us to invest those money on Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Navy, we now see one in Nigeria data.
Myself, how we got to the point of watching over the fish, using the cat. How a former militant, a man that was known for bunkering for all manner of things, is to want to
surrender to your
superior,
a person that you feel is there.
I know there was this embarrassing video where you had the Navy now argue with Tantita on the Nigerian waters. They were now fighting themselves. Nuruddin, we cannot talk about the potentials of Nigeria enough. There's too much to talk about, really. The potentials that this country has got. I was just reading on Facebook recently. I had to even tell him. 𝐴ᴏᴜᴛ had put up something on his page where he was talking about the fact that, look, everything is about followership. That, these people in other parts of the world. So when I asked him, what about the role of the leaders? Barrister Curtis has highlighted about 4 or 5 things, being the reason why, despite our potentials, our population, our resources, because how do you explain a country with the largest population? And I've just talked about the powers of having that kind of population. I just mentioned it. Just check the big economies all over the world. They thrive on population.
Yes.
In fact, the countries who are thriving who don't have population, they are open to also get on board. I think China has also reversed that one-child policy.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. And I've told people to start giving birth to children.
In fact, they not pay people
to give birth.
They pay them to
because they know the dangers of having aging population.
Look at Japan.
Japan is suffering.
Even Sweden
Sweden, there are countries know, look, we need to give birth to children. Canada deliberately allows people to come in through different means because they know that, look, they need the population to drive their economy. Our need, the population is here. The natural resources are available to us.
Good weather.
Arable land. Canada, look, they talk about how big Canada is on agriculture. And you look at their weather and you wonder how they are able to do it. They talk about how big. In fact, an average Canadian will tell you, whether immigrant or what, that look, food is as good as free in that country. That you might suffer every other thing, no, but it can't be food. You cannot complain about food because the agricultural produce in the country is even more than enough, to the point where they are one of the largest exporters
of food to the United
States.
And Mexico.
We have arable land. No, we have 44 solid mineral resources spread into different parts of the country. We are also the largest oil producing nation. No, in sub-Saharan Africa, the 6th largest in the world. What is our problem?
Well, part of our problem is what Barrister Kosi said. As much as I will agree that we have wicked leaders, at the same time we have wicked followers too,
who tolerate these things.
Yes, you will see somebody that has not eaten, and you now see somebody that is clamoring that there are a lot of people that have not eaten, please let's just give them food. Part of the environment, and that is one of the things. You are seeing some certain followers that they are not ready to even speak out. They are suffering, but they are smiling. So in that kind of environment, there is no way those wicked leaders will know that they are doing something bad. Then another one again is this: the rule of law of America. No matter the behavior, that he's still looking back that no, there's something that could happen. We are going to see what is going to happen in the midterm election.
And you know, Barrister, to tell you about the rule of law, Nuruddin, you know, Trump recently said to his the Republican caucus, they must not win the midterm election. That they will impeach me. You already know. He said it. I listened to him when he was talking to the Republican caucus.
Impeaching him has been. He has the dishonor of being the only president that have been impeached.
Fine, but at least for the fact that
the fact that he knows
that he can be impeached.
Once he loses the midterm election, they are going to clip his wings.
They are going to clip his wings.
I think he understands that MAGA is now splintering.
I'm not even about the impeachment, because we've seen impeachment that did not eventually see to his removal.
He's the master of manipulation. He knows what he's doing. Don't forget that the last election, he won because he cried out openly, said, "Look, I'm going to jail.
If I don't
win this election, they're sending me to jail."
So he riled up his base using that.
And the people listen. But this time is different, because most of the things that he promised he was coming to do for them. Don't forget, the number one principle of the MAGA nation is that America will not go to war with any other name. Gaza, setting up a peace.
I know, Barrister, the idea of a peace committee in Gaza is also like an affront on United Nations.
Of course.
Yes.
And basically telling the United Nations you have no role to play.
Some of the world leaders are saying we don't want to be part of it.
Because that was supposed to be a job for the UN.
Yes. And I remember in one of the campaign events that Steve Bannon and Susan Wise, who is now the chief of staff, planned for him. They brought egg. They brought crates of egg. They brought tomatoes. They brought different groceries. And they forgot about the fact that there was COVID and that the supply chain was challenged. But it was an effective messaging. When you say to people, look, you were buying an egg, $2, $2.47 before. Today it's almost $5. Mr. Trump will bring down the
drop the prices. Yeah.
He did it his first time. Don't forget that COVID happened towards the end of his first time.
So it was Biden that picked up the problem. Yeah,
people became nostalgic about the Trump time. The economic
was better. Prices came better.
Younger people could make deposit for houses and all of that. You know, the 401k went up the roof and all of that. And now he's there,
and things have gone.
He's not been able to bring down the prices of groceries. And don't forget that midterm elections are about the kitchen and table affair.
Of course, yes. The reality of the people. They look at their pocket.
And this is the argument that the lifestyle of the president, the ministers, and all of that. Look down in your neighborhood.
Is the economy?
How much is the driver, public vehicle driver, earning? The tailors.
No problem.
Big one.
You understand?
Big one. Very big one.
The biggest challenge now to any
30,000 naira. But out of that 30,000, today I'm earning 100,000. I'm earning 100,000.
I can't buy a bag of rice.
Today, if I go to the market, even with all the lies they're telling on TV about rice is so cheap, food is so cheap now that Nigerians are saying it's too cheap.
No, but maybe he's buying his own from another place.
He has the money.
He doesn't buy.
This
These things are given to him
True,
for free.
So go market.
When you say these things, you then begin to ask questions. Are they talking about the economy to everyone who is in need? I'm also in need. But for a moment, let's convert
it.
By the courses, urgent 5K that you supported us. A lot of people are still calling me that, how come that we did not? My phone nearly crashed.
And they are feeling it too. And they are the first people to call.
And you see some people who are on that list, who are still going to be people, encouraging and tolerating these things.
On Facebook, there is a particular one that I know very well. He now come behind my messenger. And I said, are you joking? He said, no, I'm not joking. No.
With the way
he
you
quickly
support.
send the account details. And I said, look, this money is not meant for you. Contact your politicians. If you cannot contact them, let me list them. Your local government chairman, your house of state house of assembly, just go and meet them.
Well,
because this money is not meant for you.
Pray that you don't
and this one of the
I pray that nobody becomes sick in this country.
Leave that
Because
one.
you say that electricity has improved greatly, right?
Who says so?
No, but that's what
yesterday FMC Abeokuta, I deliberately called Sulatin one particular staff. So that was the reason why I called him to the program yesterday. He told me, he said that there is no light and there is no water in FMC. But bucket, they will leave the hospital, go and buy water and bring it. Patient, those people staying with them will go and fetch water.
And that's supposed to be one of the biggest facilities.
One of the
facility in Ogun State.
That one is one. Then another thing again he said anytime they refer somebody to FMC, what is going to come out of the mouth of the people is that you are going mortuary.
It's not only FMC. I've seen people
so I'm just
who
using
will tell
that
you
one.
that some of our hospitals here, even in Lagos,
I'm just using that one
when they refer you
as
there,
an example.
You will not come out alive.
So let me ask you.
And that is the thing. How many general hospital is having life?
Not the Lagos hospital that they left.
Killed a student doctor.
Yes.
So here is the truth. Because they know that we don't know what they are doing. Majority of us don't know what they are doing. They come out to tell us lies that they themselves don't believe in.
And they force us to believe those lies.
I have told people, Lagos generates more revenue today than Rwanda. They've got an armed forces, they have got police, they've got other institutions that they manage.
I really don't want to go there.
I hope people will not deport me from Lagos.
And you know that Fuad is from Lagos.
But because of those who say that we should focus more on our local affairs.
They don't know what they are saying.
Let me tell you something. We talk
They've not gone to where things work. Really.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have not seen it.
So you can't blame them.
They have not
excuse
been,
the ignorance.
They have not been to places where if you don't sell everything, you like Costco and all. I feel a twitch in my heart. It's like I'm going to have a heart attack. And that guy picked his phone and called 911. Among them said, who will take him? They put this guy down right before us.
Did he register? Money for registration?
No, they don't. They don't care about that.
Does he have health insurance?
You know that? I think it was in 2012 that there was a polling conducted in the United Kingdom, and they asked them, "What is that thing that unites the NHS?"
The health insurance.
Yeah, it doesn't cover typhoid self.
The second one was the Olympics. The British were united around the Olympics, but not more than those who were united around the national health.
Barrister, so that we can move to domestic issues. We've talked about the speech of Mark Carney at the World Economic Forum, and he talked about the strength of Canada when he was confronted with Donald Trump's statement of, Canada leaves because of the US. And here you have a prime minister talking about the strength of Canada and talking more about what? The people and what they have been able to do with the people. So we conclude this part of the conversation this evening, by listening to just about 1.5 minutes of the speech, part of the speech of Mark Carney, and then actually beautiful voice of the Canadian Prime Minister, Mark Carney, at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, 2026. After that, we'll be right back to look at our own problem.
has what the world wants. We are an energy superpower. We hold vast reserves of critical minerals. We have the most educated talent. We also have a government with immense fiscal capacity to act decisively. And we have the values to which many others aspire. Canada is a pluralistic society that works. Our public square is anything but. A partner that builds and values relationships for the long term. And we have something else. We have a recognition of what's happening and a determination to act accordingly. We understand that this rupture calls for more than adaptation. It calls for honesty about the world as it is. We are taking the sign out of the window. We know the old order is not coming back. We shouldn't mourn it. Nostalgia is not a strategy. But we believe that from the fracture, we can build something bigger, better, stronger, more just. This is the task of the middle powers. The countries that have the most to lose from a world of fortresses and the most to gain from genuine cooperation. The powerful have their power, but we have something too. The capacity to stop pretending, to name reality, to build our strength as a path wide open to any country willing to take it with us. Thank you very much.
All right, that was the voice of Mark Carney, the Canadian Prime Minister. Again, beautiful speech, I must say, from the World Economic Forum. I will come back home to talk about domestic politics. It's still Political Roundtable, mainland 98.3 MF. We are streaming the show live on the show by 𝐴 Nurudeen Joseph. The African democracy is described as a must-be-my-candidate mindset. It is my candidate or nobody. Basically, warning that such divisive loyalty could undermine the party's chances in the 2027 general elections. The party said, insisting on an obe or nothing. So basically, it was a message majorly for the obedience. Or similar rhetorics does more harm than good and only strengthens the ruling APC and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ahead of the 2027 elections. Speaking during the virtual when that was indeed a big one because we've been having this back and forth. Was he going to join the ADC? Yes, he claims to be a part of the coalition, but it's not that long. His supporters who are known as the Obedience, and people have said, well, that's a big catch for the ADC. But we've seen the posturing, this grandstanding by the Obedience, who are the supporters of Mr. Peter Obi, that look, maybe not all of them, but we've seen some of them even call onto the show that to say, look, it has to be Obi or nothing. In fact, and all of that. So they keep making these statements, and Bolaji Abdullahi thinks, look, it's not going to help the party. Let's rally behind everyone who has shown interest to be a presidential aspirant in the party, and then whatever happens, we can now say, look, party and coalition, and gives more impetus and strength to the ruling APC. What do you think, Barrister?
Interview of the Minister of and Tourism, and when she was asked a question, if she doesn't feel that the combination of Atiku and Obi will be difficult for Tinubu, he says, I have high regards for Atiku, but I don't think Atiku can beat Tinubu. Now, he was asked if...
She was asked,
she was asked if a combination of Obi
and Atiku
and another person, of course, the Obedient will support.
So they are even reading the Obedience from the ruling party.
Re-elections when Nigerians vote. And this country
can even draw from what happened in 2023, whether we like it or not.
And this country is divided. And let me tell you something. It's not everyone who voted for Obi that is an Obedient.
There were people who just voted for him because they wanted him.
Yes, because they were tired. They just wanted something out people. They can have Obi as president of Obedient. That's not the problem.
It was not making the president of Nigeria.
Nobody will contest that with them. But within the context of Nigerian politics, they ought to understand how one can emerge as the president of Nigeria. Now, for you to emerge as the president of Nigeria, there are two main qualifications or thresholds that you must meet. You are a winner of simple majority of the votes cast.
First.
And then
of all the including Abuja.
Plus Abuja. So you are looking at...
So those are the constitutional thresholds.
That's the constitutional threshold. So you are looking at government per state.
Yes. That's how deep, if you want to even interpret it to that level.
Yes. So what it means is that two-thirds of 36 is what? If you divide
24 states.
24 states.
24 states.
Yes, plus Abuja. Yeah.
That's 25.
And now they've said, even without Abuja, just look at 25 states.
25 states. Now look at it this way: the entire northern states, 19.
19 states.
Entire southern states, 17.
17.
So let's even assume that Obi wins all the states.
All the southern states.
17. Obi will be needing another 8 states
From the north.
from the north. Now, by the results of the last election, did Obi win 8 states in the north?
It was even his part. He's not even winning.
No, he came second in
getting
Benue.
25%, yes, in Benue, yeah.
I think he did well in Plateau.
Yeah.
He also did well in Kaduna. And then I don't know if he scored 25 in Gombe. But we know
Even this scenario, if he wins all the southern states, which is not even
not possible
for something in the south.
7
States in the south.
in the south. So you then begin to ask yourself, on the basis of what we know already, in the last election, Obi won in the 5 southeastern states.
Convincingly.
Obi won in Lagos. They have vowed that they will not win in Lagos again.
And they're going to put everything.
And we are saying that Obi won in Delta.
At least officially.
And that mutilation is what is causing the problem up to today.
Up to today, yes.
He's a consequential politician. He brings votes, right? But then you need a political figure who will go into the deep north, especially in the northwest.
I can crack the
As
wall
we are
there.
talking right now, even when doing the APC registration, only the northwest has brought in 50 million votes.
And complement what you
Now,
have.
and the reason why people are saying Atiku can do it, because we're saying Atiku, like Buhari in the past, Atiku, even in the last election,
Traditional PDP states of the southeast and
Yes.
south
Then the
would have been
southern
president,
states.
yeah.
and that is why they say Obi with the political reality. Don't forget that we are not in the United States. We are not in the country where, in some parts of the country, the head of the family.
Confirm this. That Jumat's prayer
That will precede the election.
before the election on
it's not
Saturday.
ordinary one,
It's not an ordinary prayer. Oh.
That's what I'm telling you.
For people who don't know, that Friday, that Jumat service.
So
A day before election.
and when you are talking about the
Let me
obedience,
play. Oh.
we are talking about the obedience. I think there are spoken ones like Patty Tomi is one. I respect him for his knowledge, but when it comes to politics, it's a new fight. He did, and this is the test of character, test of strength, test of his leadership ability. If you are a leader and you are not able to convince your followers to follow you to where you are, if they are holding you hostage, you are not leading them; they are leading you.
It was a problem.
And as far as I'm
I see
concerned,
one of the callers even told us that they're the ones leading him last week. I said, how do you lead your leader?
and be realistic.
And I think that's what Bolaji Abdullahi is telling
This election is look. Obi will go into the contest like any other candidate who has shown interest.
and we should be
If Obi wins, the entire party structure should be thrown behind him.
to support him.
If he doesn't, elected, and we live in this country. I mean, I'm not afraid to.
And the heavens will not fall.
I think for me, the obedience, I'm always afraid to talk to them.
Why?
Because they made up their mind.
If they have the people,
You
we are
understand?
talking about political reality.
Then secondly,
now. Yeah.
secondly, when you are discussing with them, whether one-on-one, they look at you that you are straight and ask you, are you actually serious? Because if you do, it's as if they are against you, but actually they are working Nigeria, whether protest vote and the rest of it. We have excess of 6 million votes. For me, as a good politician, I will play 5 million. But you look at it as if they expel it, technically they make Labour Party, which is just a very small part of Nigeria problem. They make it to be very, very toxic and stressful for him. Then he found himself in a ADC now. Now, you want to be a president of Nigeria. What is your influence in INEC? Let's speak politics. How can you influence what goes on in INEC?
They don't have to.
Who do you
INEC
have?
should
Who
be-
do you have in INEC?
It's part of politics.
It's part of politics. Who do you have
Who
in
can give you
INEC
inside
as a
information?
candidate? Even as
just
a
information.
Yeah,
See,
who can give you
but
information?
what? Even as a you in INEC and say, Oga,
wait.
I don't understand what is going on.
Fuadi is about 3 M's. You must have men. Number 2, you must have materials. Then 3, you have some people working for your
But
money.
don't you think INEC should just be an unbiased?
That is
unbiased-
outside
one
like
is on
in
the same
UK.
value.
No,
That one is
Oga,
on
no,
the value.
in
We are talking about
UK,
politics.
we are talking INEC
See,
in UK, Canada,
in the last election,
Australia,
I
and the
told
rest of
you
them.
how hard dog staff were being
recruited.
recruited. And then is the beginning of election.
But we've seen situations where it looks like the state.
Yes, people too.
He has people. See, so now you cannot do anything within INEC. Then you now come to our own constituency, the security agency.
Those ones are
whereby it's possible anything that have your sign as a candidate.
State level for governorship, National Assembly elections. INEC staffers also form their alliance to do the operation locally.
So you don't go chop.
They know what they are doing.
They know what they are doing.
Because that one, the INEC chairman is not interested.
Yes. It's within their whatever. And one thing again is this, that the obedience must know. We are not talking about emotions now. We are talking about real politics. That first, second, third in the last presidential election, if they should repeat it
separately too,
almost
the same thing will happen.
It's not almost the same thing.
President again is leaving for Turkey.
Yes, that's been announced since last week.
So,
you are just seeing that, Barrister.
Yeah, they said that one.
That one has been.
So the way it's going now.
There's a press release already.
Yes.
If the three,
please send it to me.
If the three candidates repeat it to now,
yes,
3 things will happen. Number 1, the more than currently now.
Yeah.
Number 2, what Atiku had
before
is not going to be up what is going to have
now.
Yes, what Peter Obi had is not going to be up to what he had now because of the realities on ground. The best chances they have to work harder, because one thing there is this. Now, after 3 years now, Nigerians are more poorer. That means jumping politicians that are jumping into APC. No matter how you want to say it, it's still an addition to APC. Number 3 is that, looking at the last election, Atiku in the north vote and he still have his own believers, and it has shown. Obi also has his own believers, still doing I want to be there, another thing again is this. See, in politics, every activity is different. That 2023, it has come, it has gone, it will never come again. There are new realities now.
President Muhammadu Buhari is going to be different.
This one to hit, add this one to hit. Either is a plus or is a minus. They should deduce this at home. He is of those part of that constituency. He appointed all of them. The umpire in the INEC.
Where
I'm going. No,
that was the same. Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Forget.
Look here. You know that president is a president. You know he can call an chairman to see him.
Well, the president is.
He's not going to be bought.
The presidential jet to campaign.
Yes.
From state to state, because it's the president.
He can even use phone.
Just like he can still be protected by state institutions, personnel from state institutions.
Yes.
But here's the reality. The dynamics have changed.
Yeah.
And for different
from what we had in 2023.
For instance, Obi in 2023 nationally was a shiny object.
Yes.
A lot of people did a new political turf. His influence is not going to be the same. It has now, for Atiku, age has become a major factor. There are Nigerians who believe that, look, it's too old. We need somebody younger, and those are the people who are looking at 괶ᴜᴜ rescue Nigeria.
People are now so that there's no rescue anything.
But Tinubu is suffering from the disease.
Tinubu would have been the
best president.
But now we know what he can
do.
No.
The problem is that he's got a bigger leverage now in terms of the fact that he's going to use public funds to campaign.
Yes.
At different levels.
So when we do a SWOT analysis of President Tinubu,
yes,
with strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats.
Yeah, it's strong. This is a human
AI.
What they are saying is that, look, we know this president hasn't done well.
We have the federal might,
but we have the federal might.
We'll take the
but
state.
Usually they are saying it
not up to 1 billion. They say 30 billion.
What do you think? You think it's for election?
Of course, they are stockpiling this. This is war chest for election. So the president knows he's in a comfortable position. What can happen to the president is that if there's a political betrayer
from within,
and
then the others also get their hearts right.
From his, when former President Jonathan said he wanted to contest to get his own term, you know that most of the northern governors initially were not with him.
Yes.
But after Obasanjo brokered that peace, whereby he agreed to do one term, they all queued behind him. to the, that will not contest anymore. But what happened in 2015? When he decided to go against that alliance, the then northern governors initially they cooperated with him. When they to election, changed camp and became Buhari's campaign manager.
And from that place, you knew there was a problem.
Conspire and defeat you. So this is what he's got to watch out for.
That's the president himself.
Yes, because some of the people who made him president are no longer in his column. And they know how to move people in the north. Now, the other problem he's going to face is from people like the extremely, very poor performance.
Dismally poor.
It's made our lives worse.
Maybe to say the only reason why he voted for president, that's what they were saying. But he understood when he said, only I voted for him.
Let the poor
and that he's surprised that he's not the team don't know anything.
You say when you remove today the poor can't even run a car. You've removed subsidy money, but you're borrowing more money. The man who kept subsidy in place has not even borrowed that
much. What you have borrowed. You know, the funny thing is that, again, just like building the nation poem, where you know say and
Diko
rather, and so
I think
and I saw a video of his convoy. Escalate the latest message. So they look at the man up there.
They look at the man up.
In 2023, they would have used they would have proved their popularity from some of the.
But we don't do local government elections.
For me, issue of insecurity, I don't know how they are going to. Maybe his campaign managers. What they
convince people that they've done well.
Convince
Nigerians that they've done well on
this. Because look at what happened. I think thank God I was even in your office that day when the issue of Kaduna and we saw the
reality of
the commissioner for
denying and all that.
I said this man that don't you see that commissioner has eaten very well before.
All right, this is for information to Ahmed Tinubu with the cordial relations between the two countries and exploring further areas of cooperation in security, education and development, innovation and aviation. To 2021. I don't know why Ogaba had to put when the man came to Nigeria back in 2021. But during President Tinubu's visit, both countries will engage in strategic, political and diplomatic discussions on shared values in finance, communication, trade and investment. The agenda will include meetings between high-ranking officials of both nations and the signing of memorandum of understanding. The business forum will bring together investors from both countries to explore areas of interest during the visit. Members of the president's entourage participating in the bilateral discussions will include Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, Attorney General of Singh, other Mianatu Musawa, come to the country, advisor to President Thursday. Or maybe Friday when it was announced that so somehow
but that was pulled.
No,
that Kingeri was removed.
Okay, but he was also again
on Monday.
On Monday. Okay.
To Tinubu to read. This same Turkey.
Yeah, Turkey, yes.
This same Turkey now, before, if you have a UK visa or American visa, you can go into Turkey without needing
a visa.
Today, Turkey has declared Nigeria a terrorist state, that they are no longer comfortable. The question the nation that is still suffering from a lot of insecurity, do you realize that every time the president in the country is in the country, or wherever he was, or Europe, we had a Minister Wike touring local governments and making some making some pronouncement
Mr. Rainbow
and threatening the peace of River State and by extension that of Nigeria, because he got all of us. Yes, the president, they sent him a message through Bashir Ajibu, the APC National Secretary. He didn't get the hint. Then they asked the chairman to go to
Senate president.
So until, because my mother used to tell me,
you will make sure that
best way to get direct foreign investment is to make your country stable,
attractive,
safe, have a trade. No investor in the world can ignore Nigeria.
With our population?
With our population.
They
are the ones that can function. An investment destination. And it's not
we already have the resources. We already have what it takes.
It's not going to do that by traveling to every country that
sign an agreement.
No, he will just cross his leg here. But come, what is NSA going to do in Turkey?
They said they are security agreements. He's talked about so many things.
They can replace where we get our ammunition.
Well, Turkey is also very strong. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just looking at. Okay, look. In terms of even what is the major? I'm coming.
Yeah,
I agree.
No. When you talk about the economy in Europe, I've said it here severally. Remove Germany, Turkey is a big economy. At least I've visited Turkey twice.
But
I know how
big.
They are to our market. You hear America. Now, Turkey has almost even displaced China. If you are looking for quality, something
own advantage.
Maybe we want to go and balance it. That's why we are going to.
If we are still having a stopover in Turkey, we will still not enter their country.
No, what I'm saying, whatever.
This is the same Turkey we are talking about.
This may change it, but I still find it disturbing because again, before the show we talked about it. The president has only spent about 17 days in Nigeria in 20 days.
17 and today.
I think that's just about 10 days.
24th.
24th. About 7 days.
7 days.
7 days.
Just about 7 days. Sorry.
Yeah, they returned to the country last Sunday.
He came back on the 17th.
Yeah. Last Sunday.
So he has only spent just about 7 days. Just 8 days. A week. Start a countdown.
Yes, now.
For every outside the country.
Yes.
So because again they've not told us when the president will release one.
They are not even saying his visit will last for 4 or 5 days.
But that is what we are saying. That we will
people need
caring whether you
feel you can talk for what.
Listen, look, this is what dictatorship looks like when the views and the opinions of the people don't mean anything. Because your vote, you see the way you carry yourself. Tayyip Erdoğan, the president of Turkey, 1 year. And why has he not done so? Because he's busy at home developing his country. All right. Now, when you see President Trump on the road, it's not because he's looking for
all these leaders have gone to Davos.
All that he's doing,
the UAE, and going to Davos. Which one should have been?
Davos is more important.
Why did
because that's where the world were.
Most of the world leaders were there.
And boss meeting.
Yes.
Nigerian government acquired a house called
NSC. Do you know that people are saying outside there that we have 166 304 people under captive of some of the criminal. For me, I think the NSA should have been in Nigeria.
To rescue those
ones. The CP, the how do you call
defense
it?
Was there. Defense minister was
talking
there
to the IGP. How do we get
as
so that
speak,
we will call the president
on this list of people leaving the country?
Yes.
Okay, maybe those who they are not
now.
Okay.
The defense minister is on the list.
He's on the list.
The NSA is on the list.
The minister of state for defense. Let me tell you. You see, you know that Chairman of Sport. You have all kind of busybodies.
Everybody just going.
Meanwhile, at the end of the day, the allowances of the players will not be available to be paid. It will become from the state out. We know we said it. His cabinet is the biggest.
All this cardinal cost of governance,
and all of that. Though he was a wealthy man before he became president.
But being president is.
But you cannot compare. Being president now, he doesn't have to pay. The aircraft is free. Everything is free.
Yes.
When his plane touched down in Abuja, and he was accompanied by his ADC. And he looked and he said, ADC, this looks like.
And will spend from the UAE VC. So what we are saying is that officially, if he leaves tomorrow, he has only spent just a week in Nigeria in 2026.
And the statement here did not say whether the state visit to Turkey will be for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. So the state does not need to be around.
But the NSA, the defense minister.
Don't forget that former Attorney General Andaka told us the president can
walk from anywhere.
And even take the NSA.
So the president can pick his phone and call the bandit leader and say, I'm President Tinubu. Please don't harm those people. I'm coming back.
We will do this. We'll do this in China. Yes.
This president can compensate those who help him. This president can give them privileges.
Yes. That's Boala talking now.
But this president says he will stand behind constitutionalism. That belongs to will not abandon him. He's a member of the party and the party will protect him.
So is that the president?
And you are not a member of a party. If he's not the president,
who is this person of who?
Does Boala speak for me?
No, because
he's speaking for the president.
Do you know his title?
Public
policy.
Yes, policy.
This is policy that he explained.
Tᴏɪᴛᴛ.
Yes, now.
Because audience of one.
Because I've been trying to gauge the opinion of some APC members who still insist that look, the president cannot abandon.
No, it's depending on the status of that.
They
APC
cannot,
member.
he cannot. He started with the chairman of the party. Ajibola Bashiru said it. The vice president said it. Boala is buttressing it.
Let me tell you something. Every time there is a conflict or collision between logic and reason, between logic / reason and emotion wins. And emotions are not subject to reasoning.
Yeah.
You see, what people do not understand is that Tinubu as a politician is interested in winning Rivers State.
Yes.
But with all Wike has done for him,
Okay.
Retired is part
Hold on,
of
what
the
he
game
did
now.
for Wike?
or has he been well compensated?
No, hold
like
on.
Bala
Was
is-
it Wike that repositioned the moon for Tinubu?
But he helped him to become president.
Okay, let me show you.
Only him?
I have the results of the last election here. Rivers contributed 283,000 votes. Osun contributed 300,000 votes plus.
So is that why?
Who gave more?
Is that why everybody is quiet in Rivers State? The Wike people.
You know, we told you. I told you in this studio that there is no member of the Rivers State House of Assembly who hates Fabufubara and who wants to fight him. Because the people who were fighting on the side of Wike assumed that Wike still had
Presidential support.
And-
Once they know that in no day,
and you know the president
agreement go for.
when it comes to politics, is a smooth operator. He's not shown his hand yet. But what he has said
Well,
to
you know
Wike-
they show him body. Oh.
No, what he has said to Wike, you have a choice. Go to River State and play the politics and leave the FCT ministry for us, and then we'll replace you, or you do your job.
So the whole one.
On third, a cognitive psychology. But when you are doing something, sometimes you sit down and take the mirror, look at
But he has
yourself.
said.
Am I on
He
the
has
right
said it
side?
severally. I can challenge anybody.
You should come and
Okay. Let
challenge.
him challenge.
no,
Yes,
no.
Now him-
In
him-
fact-
he's only like anybody
money can tell a man who is 3 feet that he's 8 feet.
because he's been seeing the money. And now they die you.
Don't you see the
Yeah.
To the point of saying we will take the power from APC. We give them the power.
So what about the illusion, or do you call it delusion, of no, there's no APC PDP Rivers State. It's a rainbow.
You have to be a member of a political party, and that party has to sponsor you. There's no party known
Wike
as
has boasted several episodes, has chosen the 23rd of January, the day his political son. Say Kano State, but let's just assume it's in Kano State. But I've seen something, Barrister, where all fingers point to the APC as the destination of Governor Abba Yusuf. They did not drop the red cap. Even in what is going on, is there a mix-up somewhere? I said nobody.
I think apart this whole
You already know that one.
you
Barrister.
understand
That is just
and governor, you know what is happening here is that Governor Abba
Yusuf.
Yusuf wants to belong to the ruling party, be able to mobilize his support. He knows the trend of politicians who wanted to be governor. Forget that in 2019 it was the same Abba who allegedly defeated Ganduje,
But was not what the
and
whole
then
thing
INEC
changed.
had to come out with a rerun.
That gave Ganduje the edge.
opportunity.
Yeah.
So Abba and in fact it was Abba's election that caused Sanusi
The throne.
the throne because
yes.
Sanusi was behind.
So it's now back to those people.
It's guys who went to be with Ganduje.
They see that they can't have their ticket again.
They know that Abba will get automatic ticket. They are now we're hearing that they are beginning to find their way back to the Caucasian movement. So that they'll have of course, politics is about realignment.
So alignment and realignment.
And realignment. So the coming day court sits on Saturday. That yesterday, a court would have declared
Because
that
as it stands, it's partyless.
it's partyless
It's
and it
partyless.
cannot be governor. Because you must be sponsored by a political party and must be a member of a political party. If you resign from the party, okay, it's just like
Yes.
so you
have to pay enough.
like during the last AFCON, Osimhen resigned from Nigeria and he didn't join any
And
team.
he just go and join.
He wore his uniform.
I think
team.
Abba should equally be careful of Kwankwaso believer. Not Kwankwaso did not have followers; he has believers.
Well, another thing that I want to add is this:
Yeah.
that
All right, let's just our
Quickly, in River State, I think I'm happy that Wike is not talking, which is good. They are not talking, and that's one of the people that gave him that time. He's going to be impeached before the primaries of APC or all the parties. He's going to be impeached. People are talking about second term. He's not going to contest
so
again.
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. If
They are fond of
do we take a bet on that?
if you like to take a bet, but I know that as a political analyst,
Oh yeah, go on.
as somebody who has been observing when he was Anambra, he was impeached. Peter Fayose was impeached in Ekiti. Even the latest one, the assembly, the national assembly.
So your prediction that will impeach. So other matters.
And then again, people who are just talking about AGC, to be a viable AGC in the Sarah.
Okay.
Then thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello, good evening. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. You see, number one, Obi, Atiku, Tinubu, yes, they will struggle it out. They were crying about what is going on. Now, it's because of reform. any government that reaps information is better for the country. What you are trying to do now is what your bank is what I say I'm at the wallet. Is that allowed for this?
Wait,
finally.
Wait, Prince. Agboyo. So there's no means to remove subsidy and the price was going to go up.
I don't know, see, you always talk about this. I was wondering when you are talking of this. If you want something good that we can...
You have not answered my question, Prince. Why?
Now, when you remove subsidy, when we are subsidizing the majority of West Africa country, how can it be possible? So let us be realistic with ourselves now.
That means the president
what is going on now? Wait.
So are you saying the president was just lying to the people, then you would never put it down?
When you are campaigning, you don't know when you talk something wrong.
Okay, we will not
because we spend more time there.
All right.
Yes, I'll go forward. Let me tell you, I sympathize with him completely. He's misleaded. I don't know. You understand? He's backbone. He's 14. Kano is not a state like you can. Mr. Game Changer, Mazu now, former governor of Bauchi State.
Yeah.
You know, he wanted to impose somebody against Irsᴜᴜ.
Yeah.
You understand? When PDP denied Irsᴜᴜ, Buhari asked him to become the NNPP. And when he won, the Bauchi, in fact, they imposed curfew that no movement. They carry their mark and split for INEC now. They say, okay, we can move, but our vote must count. That is what exactly happened. It will have, Kano is not people that you can intimidate now. Gandhi is supposed to know now. So definitely, but my fear is court. Definitely, they will lose, but at least they reclaim their mandate through court. What happened in 2019, I think it may repeat itself.
But do you think Tᴏɪᴛᴜ will remain in the NNPP? Don't you think he might just leave? We all know their factions.
Look, Tᴏɪᴜᴜ is a trader now. He's a trader, he's a businessman. He can remain NNPP and work for you. It's Abba. Right. He must show Abba and other members of the assembly.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is the election.
Yes.
I want to talk about ADC.
ADC, yes.
I'm not saying that ADC cannot win election. Look at several concepts in Benedict. 𝐴RUFAI is a member of ADC and in turn is a member of House of ADC from Kaduna. That is a member of ADC. And these people are going against their in Nigeria. They just need only 20 people to win. And the remaining 15 they just the remaining opponents, and they win the remaining 25% out of the 15 that remain.
Okay.
The election of
You know why she did not win election on the ticket of APC? The dad gave the ticket to his younger brother Hubi, who was deputy speaker in the House of Assembly in Benue. She went to Abga, won election, and then moved to declare vacant. You talk about 𝐴RUFAI's son, the same thing. 𝐴RUFAI was in APC. His son won election.
If he moved, there's no division in APC.
In APC,
they can't defect.
That should not
so
be
that's what I thank God that you've at least been able to clear that for him to understand. Because there's no division in APC. They can't move. Hello, yeah, good evening.
For joining this country, all your two callers, they talked about politics. It is okay, but if it is a country that justice system is working well, or electoral system is working well, the people vote can. They will not be talking like that. So it's not democracy. That is why they can talk like that. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Hello, good evening. Hello.
What?
Yeah, good evening.
Like always.
All right. Hello, good evening.
I'm in Mafuluko.
Yes.
But I'm not in the center of the universe.
But the place are not showing at the same place now.
You know actually that is Mafuluku.
I've not seen the center of the universe yet.
Okay, please go on. Just go on.
Please, I want to advise Peter Obi and his supporters. A lot of them have been calling, not only this radio station, other radio stations, telling them, if not, I keep telling them like that, we will go back to the 2023 scenario. Where Obi will stand and Atiku will stand. So if two of them don't come together, it will never work. So those who think that Obi is the only one that Obi cannot win this present president now, the way he is. They cannot win. Not that he's doing so well, but Obi cannot win it.
All right.
This is WG.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yes, I have full confidence.
Thank you.
I have full confidence. Yes, 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 I have full confidence
Oh, please, Gege, just try.
Engineer Niyi here from Yaba.
Yes,
well done, everybody.
Good
Well,
evening.
you see, what Kangbilina just said holds weight. And that is why Atiku also said that the obedience should fight low. We need that formidable force. 20 states in the north against 17 states in the south with the sitting president. If we have put our calculation together, we know that the north has to be one, then face the sitting president in the south, and the southeast will also raise up and support their own, so that it will happen like it happened to Jonathan. That is what I want to advise all these people, because what we are experiencing now, the economy is nothing to write home about. They said they remove oil subsidy. So price must be what, and they just why can people be lying to people when you are campaigning? Tell us what you want to do. Tell us exactly what you want to do, and then let us see you do it.
You say that mistake.
There cannot never be mistake. Because are they not getting the money now? Are they spending the money on us? Are they not only spending the money on buying?
All right, thank you, Yanni.
Those people saying that Obara is going to be impeached. Over the people account, let us put your money where your mouth. Obara is not going to be impeached. They say it is over 30 minutes. Obara is impeached. Are they still sleeping with the so everybody to calm down. We don't know what Atiku and the people. They are not planning. I don't know where also people want to too much in politics now.
They should calm down. Okay. I'll be one bet with Osifu. I will organize it. Hello, good evening.
We can fall down.
Why? Which kind
my
of
joy, my joy. Mr. Singragra, tell him, that one. You remember you want this, they will pay you back. But this man now go win the no one here. You know one here.
Okay.
Somebody, Mr. Watt, sorry, just a little bit. Somebody say Obi cannot be lucky. This Lagos will do allow to do billboard, nothing to do campaign, they beat people.
Okay.
But what happened for this Lagos here? He won an election in 2023. They rigged the election. Everybody know.
Okay. Well, everybody does not know. This idea of thinking he won, they rigged him out.
So he won in Yobe. He won in Borno. He won in Jigawa. He won in Bauchi.
I've tried to explain. You saw that even Barrister took his time to explain the constitutional about some of these things. Let's take some of the Fuad, I had part of your opening speech on Rivers State where you said there's no word from Wiki or his media aid or his media aid chat. Because
you came forth and your governor.
Well, I've not seen anyone. That's why I said I've not really heard from him. I wouldn't know if it's today or it didn't happen. He said in that media chat that the APC has become a threat to him in Rivers State. I'll be the first to laugh at some of his scholars here when the whole impeachment thing is thrown away and government eventually finishes his term. I see that happening. That's James Ugbona from Oshodi. 𝐓𝐡𝐞 John, thank you. Wike, he must surely reap his evil plan in that he planted in 2023. Father Rebu Miosi Morales saluting us. Bamidele Adejare is saying okay that we should work on our streaming on Facebook. Kabiru Adegbero is saying hello to us. Sunday Noah is saying good evening friends. Peter Obi can convincingly win in northern states of Nigeria. Today, some southern states, if Baba Atiku gives him maximum support. However, obedient Peter Obi, because if you truly love Peter Obi, you will vote for a ticket he represents as a presidential candidate or as a running mate. I love Peter Obi and I will vote for him as in obedience that is insisting on Obi or nothing. APC is a party known for infiltration. They know Obi can't win Tinubu in an open election, so they can create their own. As Barnabas Ugbogu saying that. Francis Ekwenyong saying good evening Fuad and the guests. About ADC, we talked about the North and South gentleman agreement, but Atiku Abubakar will contest when it's the Oyis, Oluwayomi, Abayomi, Francis, Olalekan. Some of these messages we cannot read because we are out of time. The marital matters man is here.
An accidental parenting.
Rushed.
Unplanned and accidental parenting.
All the thing, the same thing. It is rushed.
When you rush, it's
unplanned. Accidental.
but the many results that of children and how you stifle them unknowingly with
by
your
unplanned marriage.
You know what Cosmos Maduka said? Remember how his children, he said many parents destroy their kids in Africa.
In Africa.
Because they're bringing tradition.
98.3 FM. Do this again next week.